Scientists find cannabis compound inside totally different plant. Scientists have discovered cannabidiol, cannabidiol, a compound in cannabis known as CBD, in a common Brazilian plant, opening potential new avenues to produce the increasingly popular substance. Once again, this is a Science Alert article. The team found CBD in the fruits and flowers of a plant known as Trema micrantha blume. Take a nice little look right here. This thing right here. Very cool, very cool. Shrub or small tree up to 10 meters or 30 feet tall. All right. All right. All right. A shrub which grows across much of the South American country and is often considered a weed. Molecular biologist Rodrigo Moura Neto of the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro told AFP in June. CBD, increasingly used by some to treat conditions including epilepsy, chronic pain, and anxiety, is one of the main active components in cannabis, along with tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC, the substance that makes users feel high. The compound's effectiveness as a medical treatment is still under research. Nito says chemical analysis had found Trema, the plant, contains CBD but not THC, raising the possibility of an abundant new source of the former, one that would not face the legal and regulatory hurdles of cannabis, which continues to be outlawed in many places, including Brazil. It's a legal alternative to using cannabis. You can get CBD from this plant. It's a plant that grows all over Brazil. It would be a simpler and cheaper source of cannabidiol, or CBD. Scientists had previously found CBD in a related plant in Thailand, although that is in Asia. That's not in South America. Nito, who has not yet published his results, says he has plans to scale up his study to identify the best methods to extract CBD from Trema and analyze its effectiveness in patients with conditions currently treated with medical cannabis. His team recently won a 104,000 United States dollars grant from the Brazilian government to fund the research, which he estimates will take 5 years to complete. A study last year by market analysis firm Vantage Market Research estimated the global market for CBD at nearly $5 billion US dollars and projected it would grow to more than $47 billion US by 2028, driven mainly by health and wellness. So hopefully people in South America are able to harvest this plant, even grow this plant, because I can speak from personal experience that CBD is the real deal. So what is CBD? I've talked about, I believe, Delta 8 on the show, which is it is psychoactive. However, it is not THC. So I don't want to go into that aspect of things. We'll just talk about CBD, not THC right here. So CBD is the non-psychoactive. However, if you're having muscle pain, if you go to the gym, if you have trouble sleeping, this is a fantastic thing to help not heal you, but to help you get through your daily life. How is it different from marijuana, cannabis, and hemp? While CBD is an essential component of medical marijuana, it is derived directly from the hemp plant, a cousin of marijuana, or manufactured in a laboratory, or found in a plant in South America or Thailand. One of hundreds of components in marijuana, CBD does not cause a high by itself. According to a report from the World Health Organization, in humans, CBD exhibits no effects indicative of any abuse or dependence potential. To date, there is no evidence of public health-related problems associated with the use of pure CBD. Is CBD legal? Yes. The evidence of benefits in animal studies and self-reports of research in humans suggests CBD may also help with anxiety, insomnia, chronic pain, addiction as well. Let's look at this addiction. CBD can lower cravings for tobacco and heroin under certain conditions. According to some research in humans, animal models of addiction suggest it may also help lessen cravings for alcohol, cannabis, opiates, and stimulants. Very cool, very cool. I will say the big thing about it though is probably, like I said earlier, the pain management. Um, and help with, I guess, sleeping. Here for insomnia, help falling asleep and staying asleep from personal experience. CBD, they have little droplets of CBD. It's liquid CBD. Put that under your tongue for maybe 15 seconds in your mouth and then swallow. That can really help um, kind of calm you down, slow you down, and then help you sleep if you're having trouble sleeping. So that's something I highly recommend for people to obviously talk to your doctor first if you can, if it's healthy for you. But if you are able to, I think that's a good way instead of crushing melatonin or something or any other type of drug or trying to drink alcohol to help you sleep. It's a good alternative. But for chronic pain, further human studies are needed to substantiate claims that CBD helps control pain. One animal study from the European Journal of Pain suggests CBD could help lower pain and inflammation due to arthritis when applied to skin. Other research identifies how CBD may inhibit inflammatory and neuropathic pain, which are difficult to treat. So, neuropathy, which is nerve pain, basically, is something which um, I have not dealt with, but I do know people who that is their job. They run a neuropathy clinic, so they help people with particularly with pain in their hands, like tingling and numbness in their hands or their feet. They're not able to walk because they have this neuropathy, which is pain in their nerves and not having feeling in their nerves as well. So it can be devastating. And something such as CBD has been shown somewhat to be helpful. But in my own experience with CBD, one of the things that I would do in college was I would go on a run, maybe 3 4 mile run. So nothing like super crazy. But for me, it was a pretty long run. And I would come back and I would and now I tried this two different ways, but how I would normally do it was after I would come back from the run, I would shower, I would get dressed, and I would specifically wear shorts, even if it was winter time, because what I would do is out of the shower, dry off, put on shorts and say a sweatshirt or something like that, and rub CBD on my legs. And I did it two ways. Mostly, like I said, I would do it after when I would come home from a run or from a hard workout. Mostly runs, though. About 99% of it was coming back from runs. If I was lifting weights, I only did maybe once or twice ever put it on sore muscles. It was mostly for when I was running. So I would come back for a run, shower, then dry off and put on shorts and rub the CBD oil into my skin. Now, a day later, 2 days later, I would notice a significant reduction in soreness compared to when I would do that same distance, the exact same warm up routine. Everything was the same. It's just that after the fact, I just showered and I put on my clothes and I went about my day. Um, it was a significant difference between having the actual um, CBD on my legs post. Now, the reason why I did it majority of the time post is because sometimes when I would do it like before I would go out on a run, sometimes I would put CBD on my legs with the idea of it making my legs not as sore while I'm running so I could run faster for longer. That didn't really help at all in terms of my actual performance of running, which is what I was doing it for, so that I could run faster for longer. That didn't really work. It mostly was effective as after I'm done working out, rubbing CBD oil. I don't know the the strength of the CBD, but it was just some basic CBD cream that I would put on my legs, and I noticed a significant difference in how I would feel a day or two later in terms of soreness. CBD safety. Side effects of CBD include nausea, fatigue, and irritability. CBD can increase the level of blood thinning and other medicines in your body by competing for the liver enzymes that break down these drugs. Grapefruit has a similar effect with certain medicines. Really? Did not know that. People taking high doses of CBD may show abnormalities in liver-related blood tests. Many non-prescription drugs, such as acetaminophen or Tylenol, have the same effect. So you should let your doctor know if you're regularly using CBD. If you're going to be taking anything, if you're going to be taking a multivitamin or anything, talk to your primary care doctor. Now, if you think that this is CBD is something that you think could help you because of what I've talked about today, I think you should 100% go and talk to a doctor and say, hey, I heard CBD can help with muscle soreness. Do you have any research or evidence that you've done or that you've seen that could possibly point to this potentially helping me with my ailment, with my sleeping schedule? Even I'm not saying if you are an insomniac, you can't sleep at all, that this would be the magic cure for you. But if you are having some troubles sleeping, staying asleep, getting into deep REM sleep, you're waking up, you're feeling a little groggy, a little tired, like you didn't sleep fully, I would recommend talking to your doctor and seeing if it's appropriate to try and do some CBD before you go to bed. I'm not saying lotion. I'm saying mostly either smoking it or taking it orally via some type of gummy, or what I found the best was liquid forms. So, boom. Going on to the next section. How can CBD be taken? Like I said, oils is the most what I did, or oils or extracts, capsules, patches, vapes, and topical preparations for use on skin. If you are hoping to reduce inflammation and relieve muscle and joint pain, a topical CBD infused oil, lotion, or cream, or even a bath bomb may be the best option. Now, joint pain, you would think that from running, I would have bad joint pain. The thing was, at the time when I was running all these miles and using that on my skin, I was also taking heavy doses of vitamin D at the time, because this is this is like 2 years removed from when I got my initial Hashimoto's diagnosis. And they discovered that I had a severe vitamin D deficiency as well. So I was just pounding vitamin D, pounding multivitamins and stuff like that. So that certainly helped with my joint function as well. And I was also taking fish oil as well, which helped my joints as well. So I was mostly using the CBD not for my joints. I didn't notice anything particular with my joints feeling any better from using the CBD. I mean, I didn't have any particular joint pain that could have been resolved by the CBD. It was mostly just muscle pain that I noticed significant differences in the days after I would go on a long run. All right. Alternatively, a CBC patch or a tincture or spray designed to be placed under the tongue allows CBD to directly enter the bloodstream. That's what I was talking about with, you have a little dropper and you put it underneath your tongue. And people do that with nicotine patches, the Zins. People will put those in their mouth because you have so many blood vessels within your mouth that are so close to the surface of the skin in your gums and all around your tongue and stuff like that, that can easily go through your skin and into your bloodstream much, much easier than, say, on your arm, where you have multiple layers of skin, you have your fat, you have your muscle, and within that you have your blood vessels and your bloodstream overall. So it can be a little bit easier to get into your body if you're putting it under your tongue, in your mouth, whatever. So that is what my recommendation is. I'm saying significantly, if you are having trouble sleeping and you want to increase your quality of sleep, I think this is a great option. But once again, talk to your doctor before doing anything. Do not take my word for it. Talk to your doctor. See if this is something that could potentially help you. All right. All right. All right. 6 surprising benefits of smoking CBD you'll want to know. Can you smoke? All right. Now let's talk about the smoking aspect of it, because I think this is one of the more popular ways. People assume that because it's marijuana, it's CBD, but it is marijuana, that you're going to want to smoke it. And I have some opinions on this as to why, if I were to do a CBD product, I would probably opt not to smoke. But we'll listen to what this article has to say, and then I'll give my thoughts after. So, number 1, smoking CBD has the most rapid onset of effects. Out of all the ways you could possibly imagine using CBD, smoking offers the most effective route of delivery. This means that the benefit of smoking CBD can be felt almost immediately after use. When we consume a substance, the path it takes to enter the body is called the routine of delivery. Whether it's inhalation, ingestion, or intravenously, understanding the route of delivery is important for determining how quickly and effectively the substance takes its effect, as well as its potential risks. Other than taking substances intravenously, which isn't available outside clinical settings, smoking CBD is the fastest route of delivery. Comparatively, when you eat CBD, the digestive system breaks down most of the active components before it enters the bloodstream, meaning you're not getting the full concentration of CBD and other phytochemical compounds listed on the packaging. So that's the first thing. Smoking will have the most rapid effects, which for some people is all they really care about. It is non-intoxicating and it won't get you high. For some people, this is exactly what they want. They want to be able to go to work, say they have some lower back pain or they have some leg pain or something like that. They don't want to be in the office high out of their mind. They just want to have a little bit less, maybe anxiety or a little bit less joint pain or muscle pain or whatever it may be. So smoking CBD will not get you high. Terpenes are aromatic botanical compounds that give plants their distinct smells. They can also contribute to the flavor and effect profile of your cannabis. CBD is not a psychotropic compound. As long as you're purchasing hemp-derived CBD products and potentially this plant in South America, you will not experience any intoxicating effects associated with marijuana because the main culprit for the high is THC, not CBD. Hemp flowers are CBD rich and low in THC, below 0.3%, offering a calming and relaxing sensation without altering one's sense of perception. One of the main benefits of smoking CBD is to reap the cannabinoids benefits without psychoactive effects. This next one, number 3, offers a natural, keyword natural, alternative to vaping. When vaping first rose to popularity, men believed it was a much healthier alternative to smoking cigarettes or smoking hemp flower. However, this has been debunked after a rise in vaping led to a national health epidemic of lung injuries and illness. The nicotine vaping health crisis caused scientists to take a closer look at common ingredients within vapes. And currently, the ingredient of concern that scientists may believe the culprit is vitamin E acetate, present within many vape solutions, as well as poorly constructed vape devices that will burn heavy metals that can damage the lungs. While low vapor smoke can help reduce the heat your lungs are exposed to, it's important to shop for quality devices and CBD vape juice or CBD vape oil that are made with clean ingredients. This is something that this is going to be something that I talk about later, but let's continue on. Number 4, may assist those looking to stop smoking nicotine cigarettes. There's no doubt that nicotine is highly addictive. For many people who smoke nicotine cigarettes, the habit of lighting up a stick and inhaling smoke perpetuates the addiction. Hemp flower CBD cigarettes offer an alternative for smokers who are facing craving strikes. In a study, smoking CBD was found to reduce the salience of cigarette craving cues. Interesting. All right. And number 5, supports healthy inflammation function. One of the many potential benefits is to support healthy inflammation. CBD has been shown to help support healthy inflammation function. In a study published by the Journal of Experimental Medicine, CBD was shown to reduce the inflammation and aches in an animal-based study. It's number 6. Supports a calm mood. Marijuana has been go-to for those struggling with stress. Recent literature shows that the high amount of THC within marijuana may actually enhance feelings of anxiousness or paranoia. Smoking CBD, on the other hand, has been found to help calm the mind thanks to its interaction with GABA receptors in the brain. GABA is a neurotransmitter that helps to increase the feeling of calm and relaxation. Therefore, the benefits of smoking CBD from a hemp plant might be the better option for those struggling to calm the mind. And here's a little thing of the benefits. So, rapid effect. Benefits of smoking CBD can be felt 2 to 5 minutes after use, non intoxicating. They are very low in THC, so they're not psychoactive. Natural alternative allows you to smoke the raw hemp plant itself with no added ingredients. Can help smoking cessation. In a study, smokers who use CBD reported less nicotine cravings, supports a calm mood. CBD may be helpful in improving the symptoms of anxiety. Okay. So if we go back up here, kind of my issue with, particularly when it comes to smoking CBD, in my opinion, I do not feel like that is the best way to consume the product for one major reason, and that's because you are actively putting smoke into your lungs. And especially when it comes to vaping, I would prefer, if you are going to smoke CBD, do it using very high quality papers, rolling papers or whatever you may have. Use a filter, use as much stuff as you can to protect your lungs, especially if this is going to be something that you do on a regular basis. You do not want to have any of the bad stuff that can be coming from either the paper or the CBD flower itself into your lungs, because you do not want to damage those in any way whatsoever, especially if you are trying to stop smoking. Now, when it comes to vapes, I would very seldom say to not vape. When I was in college, my sophomore year, I started getting into nicotine vaping. And I guess it started when I was a freshman. So let me tell this story. Let me stop the share real quick. So I am a freshman going to summer classes. So this is before the start of the freshman year. I am in summer classes at Penn State. And my roommate at the time, he was sitting on his bed and stuff, and I saw that he was smoking some kind of, to me, it looked like it was a USB device. And I said, "Hey, what is that?" He's like, "It's a Juul." I'm like, "What's a Juul?" And I know in 2023, it sounds crazy to say, but this is 2017. To me, this was not a crazy thing to ask. I had never heard of a Juul or nicotine smoking all that much. I just knew that sometimes people who wanted to quit smoking would use nicotine vapes. So my roommate, he's like, "Do you want to try it?" I'm like, "Is there like weed or something in this?" He's like, "No, it's just nicotine." I'm like, "Oh, I've never tried it before. I never smoked a cigarette, never done any nicotine." And it was a mango Juul cart. I take one hit, I get an instant head rush, and I instantly rush to the bathroom down the hallway, and I start profusely throwing up. I think partly because of the actual smoke, part of the actual flavor, the mango Juul cart. I never to this day like the taste of it. I think it is disgusting. That's neither here nor there. But at the time, all of these contributed to me puking my guts out. Now, once I got done throwing up, I came back to the room and I had a crazy head rush. That kind of, if you've smoked nicotine or taken any nicotine products, you know what that head rush feels like. It feels like your mind is, your synapses are kind of going like this, but then they connect together and you feel very well connected to your body. It's a very interesting feeling. I didn't really love it because I didn't like how I would feel coming down off of it. But when you're in that moment, your brain feels like it's humming. Feels like all things are working in conjunction and you feel very productive. And I liked that aspect of it, but I didn't like throwing up. I didn't like the flavor of it. But so that was my first interaction with um vaping, particularly nicotine vaping and particularly jewels. So fast forward, I every so often, maybe two or three more times, I try the jewel from my roommate. Uh, in the later times when I tried it, I didn't throw up, but I got very nauseous. I still got the head rush and wasn't addicted or anything to it because the time in between when I was doing it was days, sometimes weeks in between. So freshman year, done, don't do it at all. Then sophomore year, I'm living kind of on my own with a different roommate from my freshman year friends. And then I start to pick up nicotine again. And I do not remember the brand. It's not a Juul, but it's a different brand. And I used that brand as my nicotine smoking device. And that's when I started to get heavily into it. And to this day, that is the only time where I can say I was physically addicted to a substance or a compound. I was multiple times a day. I would have to panic, reach into my bag, and go to the bathroom. No matter if I was in class, if I was getting ready to go to bed, I would feel this urge of, I need to smoke. I need to hit it. I need to hit it. I need to hit it. And then I would hit it, get the nicotine high, and then I would feel all right again. It was crazy because I had never experienced that with anything else in my life. I mean, I'm not a huge drug addict or anything, so I had no experience with being dependent on a particular substance. So I start going and I start doing this frequently every day. And this is one of the reasons why I do not like particularly vape devices, is because this goes with not just like jewels or nicotine smoking devices, but oftentimes with the oils or the mixtures that they use that you heat up and then turn into smoke and inhale into your lungs, you can feel that it's not good for you. Sometimes it gets too hot and it burns your lungs. Sometimes you get a little bit of the actual juice doesn't get fully heated up correctly, and then you get some of the juice into your mouth, and then that's very hard to get out. You can't exactly wash out your mouth or brush your teeth and get that substance out of your mouth. You're eventually going to swallow it. And now what's that doing to your stomach? It'd make me very nauseous if I got any juice and I swallowed it. Um, so starting from there to my sophomore year, very, very um heavily involved in, I would say addicted to smoking the vape nicotine. And that's what really started off having some major negative impacts on my health. I would feel awful, terrible after I would smoke my nicotine pen. And I only did it for maybe a month or two before I just had to give up. I mean, I would just feel awful all the time because I would, one, be smoking on this vape, which who knows what this liquid is made out of, what this there was vitamin E in there. There probably was. There probably was a bunch of stuff in there that I didn't know. But in conjunction with having the cravings for the nicotine as well as feeling just awful because of the actual nicotine and the product in and of itself, having those oils get into your mouth, having that dangerous smoke and harmful smoke in my lungs, like it was just a conjunction of stuff that made me feel awful. Now, I assume that would be the exact same thing if I were to smoke cigarettes. However, The reality between vapes and cigarettes is sometimes with the vapes you can get an extremely high temperature, and what that can cause is extreme, like, smoke that is so hot that it burns your lungs, and you never want that to happen because that really damages your lungs. And that's why I don't think it is the smartest idea to consume um CBD via vape in particular. If you like I said, if you smoke it in a paper, I think that's more healthy. I don't think it is the healthiest because you're still smoking, you're still getting smoke into your lungs, which can over time damage your lungs. But vaping, I think if you're having any kind of juice with CBD in it or anything else, there's other stuff that's added into it. It's not just 100% CBD oil that's just in there, and then you just heat it up and it turns into smoke. No, they need to have other chemicals and compounds inside of it to facilitate that smoke creation so that you can inhale it. So, if you are going to consume CBD, I highly suggest that you do not do it via vape, because the vape has a lot of different side effects to it. Not that CBD is causing the side effects, but it's the actual physical vape device. It's the chemicals and compounds inside of the vape, outside of the CBD compounds that are inside the vape. The vitamin E stuff, all of that stuff can have very, very, very hazardous consequences. I know people who got seriously sick because they were smoking their nicotine vape so much, and their lungs were just feeling crazy. They couldn't work out. They couldn't walk around campus without having a heavy pain in their chest. Like it does have an immediate impact on you if you use it long enough, and it does have negative impacts on you as well. So I say all that to say, CBD overall is a good product. It's a good thing. I think people should use it, and they should give it some real thought. Talk to your doctor, obviously, beforehand, all that stuff, right? But my advice to you is to do it via a cream or um a some kind of a tincture or oil or something like that. If you want to, you obviously can smoke it, and if you are going to do so, I would advise you not to go the vape route, because there are just so many pitfalls. There's so many different companies that do the vape that you would have to research the company beforehand and make sure that that vape is good to go. It's up to standard, and it's an actual good thing. I think it's a too big of a risk to take, but if you really want to smoke your CBD, then by all means go for it. But that's not my advice.